why we got all these fucked up pieces of technology? You know what I'm saying? I came up watching Buck Rogers. Shit was supposed to be fly right now. Why aren't our products safer? Like the stuff we buy, why it's not safer? Let's talk about it. It's crazy. Why the shit we buy not safer, y'all? You know what I'm saying? The food we eat, all that, it's just full of all kinds of gunk and junk. And if you just take your time and put in a little Google search on pretty much anything that you buy, it's almost like poisoning. You gotta wonder, like, do these people want us dead? Does the government want us dead? Well, at least I wonder. You might not wonder. I wonder that shit. Let me crack my drink open right here and get started. We're going to go in and talk about it a little bit. My intention is to get regular people like myself to be thinking about these things. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to these things. It might help us make better purchases or just make better choices, make us be safer. Each one teach one. My little show that you're watching right here might have opened up your brain and got you thinking on shit like, yeah, Sess is right. Why is so-and-so like so-and-so? You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, why aren't our products safer? I don't understand it. Why aren't our products safer? Why don't we get better things for everything? You know, well, you can attribute it to the money. We know this is about the money. They don't do anything and create anything that's not going to be beneficial towards them in their behalf. We know that. So I'd have to assume that that's why our products are unsafer. How come so many unhealthy things are sold? There's supposed to be somebody that's, well, not somebody, but, you know, a corporation or something, right, that looks out for those things. And we still get a lot of crappy, unhealthy, sometimes dangerous stuff. It has to go into the general public before they know that it's killing people and tearing shit up. I mean, it's just a little thing to talk about. I was just wondering, you know, how comes we got so many unhealthy things? And they're sold to us, like, at a price, which you work hard for. Like, I'm a victim of the usage of cigarettes. I don't want to say victim because I victimized myself. Nobody twisted my arm. I got into it, and I'm trying to fight myself away from smoking cigarettes. But I still have to wonder, how comes that's even a choice that can be made? We can buy cigarettes, but yet and still it's a problem if I smoke a little weed. It's weird. But it is what it is, I guess. You know, I know that there's some people, there's little groups and stuff pushing to change these things. So I guess we might get some changes. I mean, but it's just crazy. I look at some of this stuff like, you ever heard of buckyballs? You ever heard of buckyballs? Buckyballs were these little magnet balls, like little, like ball bearings. They weren't that small though, but they were like round ball magnets. And to me as a person, I just love magnets. Since I was a little kid, I've always liked magnets. And to me as a person, when I look at buckyballs, the minute I saw them, before I realized that they were outlawed, I thought to myself, that is the dumbest thing for them to create and give to children. We realized how dangerous marbles were, and now you're going to give children magnetic marbles. That's basically what it was, is magnetic marbles. It just seemed stupid. It didn't seem very bright. And I have to wonder, who okayed the sale of this toy? Who okayed the sale of that toy? You know what I mean? Who okayed that? Everything about that, when you first look at it, everything about it looks off and wrong and dangerous. If you don't know what buckyballs is, I'm going to try and put up a little picture or some videos or something you can see buckyballs in use, because I think some people still get them. I'm guessing they're getting them off the black market or eBay. They're buying them from each other, I guess. I don't know. But there's still people out there that have buckyballs, and buckyballs are still being sold under another name. They don't call them buckyballs anymore. They call them something else now. I think there's 2 other names that I saw besides just buckyballs. I mean, but yeah, I look at that product. I wonder, how did that even ever get out there to be sold to the general public? Another question you could ask that I beg to say might even be a more interesting question is, how comes we continue to buy these items? I'll use cigarettes again, for example. We know the dangers of them. But yet and still, there's still new cigarette smokers. I mean, I will admit it seems like it died down. The younger generation, my son's generation, doesn't seem like a lot of them smoke cigarettes. Excuse me 1 second, y'all. Let me slide and get some. Hold up. Yeah, it feels like the young boys aren't really smoking. I know y'all out there like, hurry up, motherfucker. Tune in to watch this show. You all talking about give me a second, let me slide off. But yeah, the younger generation doesn't seem like they're taking up certain habits, which is very cool. It's very cool. It shows their intelligence, that their time is different from our time. It's very cool. But yeah, but like cigarettes, how come cigarettes are still being sold, and we know the dangers of cigarettes? It's just an interesting thought to have. We know how dangerous they are. We know how many lives it's still taking a year. They have not made the cigarettes any safer. Well, yeah, they have. I see some shit talking about vaping now and safe cigarettes, but it all seems to be bullshit to me. I do remember reading an article about safe cigarettes that were invented many years ago, but there wasn't enough backing with it somehow. No, no, no. I remember what it was. There was a safer cigarette invented, but the cigarette company, the cigarette industry didn't want to push it because pushing that cigarette would be an admission that their product beforehand was more dangerous, opening up themselves to litigations and lawsuits and things. You see how big business thinks? They don't care about us. They don't. They have a product that they want to move. And I guess I understand that because I do a business where I can't really care about the consumers on a certain level either. I have to make sure my business is running. So I get it. But what about the companies that their sole job is that to make sure that what we negotiate, they can find the truth in and get rid of, you know? We know how dangerous cigarettes, tobacco products are. They slap a warning on it instead of stopping the sale of it. It's just crazy. Um, I think it falls back into our hands again when we start to look at what we should be buying, our own personal safety. You know, we're human beings and we're responsible for ourselves and our family. So even though we know these products are bad and we keep buying them, we have to do better. And I guess maybe the answer lies in that. Maybe if we do better and we don't buy these bad products, they won't make them. Not just protest about them. If we just don't purchase them, period, they just won't make them. You know? Why does any company make harmful products anyway? I would think that, okay, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt of being humane. I don't think they particularly make products that's harmful to people. That's not the aim. It's not like they got up and said, oh, we're just going to make a product that turns people's skin blue and fuck what happens to them in between. I don't think that's what's happening. I think that there's legitimate inventions, legitimate products that's being created, and some group, some company, someone is trying to better the product or maximize the product. And sometimes maybe the technology isn't up to the times, isn't up to par for that product yet, but they don't want to wait. So they put it out there with this dangerous as it is. Sometimes a product might just be dangerous. The product is just not for everybody. But they see the potential in selling it on a large scale. And caution and safety of the public and all those things seem to go out the window when you have a product that's that valuable. A product that can generate that much money, that much wealth. And I guess I can understand because if I came up with a product for something that could generate that much wealth, I guess I might be tempted to negate the uh, the the effect it has on human life or human health or well-being. It's a fucked up thing though. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things out here that's really no good for us. Or we could just make safer. And we can't because of some business financial ties. Some corporation owns the rights to it or has locked it in for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years and they have millions of dollars, billions of dollars. So we can't change the way certain things are. I'm rambling on a little bit. I ran it on a little bit. I wanted to make sure I talk to my people because I'm promising the show. I'm promising the show. And even when the topics aren't the hypest topics to talk about, I'm still going to address them because they cross my mind, and there might be something that crosses someone else's mind. You know what I mean? And one of the things that recently came to me is why aren't our products safer? I mean, pretty much anything out there, we could probably come up with a safer way of doing it. We could probably come up with a safer way of having it. Another product safer to do the same, something that'll do the same job, but is safer than how we're doing it now. So is money the only motivating factor that keeps things from being that way? If it is, that's pretty crappy on our half. Maybe there should be some things that humanity demands from its governments. We elect these officials and we let them run their campaigns and tell us the things that they want, but maybe we're not demanding enough. We're waiting until they come into power. Maybe we should have these things as a demand before they get into power. And they have to start doing some things to get these things in motion before they get that power and take office. I don't know. That's going into a whole other realm of something else, isn't it? But why don't companies make safer products? It's almost like they make products that are just safe enough that it won't kill too much of their business. Our automobiles could be way safer than they are. Let's even just start there. Why haven't we made our cars safer? There's things short of AI, isn't there? I'm pretty sure if we checked and we looked, there's things that might be short of AI, because I understand AI isn't as proficient as it could be enough for us to put them in the cars and have them running things the way we see in them in our movies and things. So, okay, is there not anything else being developed? No one else is thinking of anything before AI, or short of AI, I should say? It's just a thought, just one of those thoughts. I was just wondering, you know what I'm saying? There's a few things that came across my mind. I'm looking at a few things on YouTube and Google Plus videos, and I'm looking at things that people's talking about, and I'm wondering how comes we don't make things a little safer. And on that note, I guess I'll go into another topic. Why is Apple stuff so cheaply made? Apple products tend to be like some of the worst. I'm in a place where we repair computers and we build computers from time to time. Now our repairs aren't super extensive. You know, we build computers and we repair software, if hardware, basic things. We're not going in and soldering anything together, anything like that. But we'll take a look and we'll order the part for you if you need it and install it and get your computer up and running again. Change out memory, clean memory, things like that. And for a minute, me and my partner, we were dabbling with the apples. But we quickly found out how Apple is just locked in. It's a locked in thing. Apple, to me, in my opinion, Apple is the product for rich people that either don't have, people with money that don't have the time, or people with money that's not that bright. One of the two. You have to be one of the two. Or people willing to spend money that's not that bright, I could even say. Because I know a lot of people that they're doing very menial things with their lives, you know, and they own Apple phones. And they're hella expensive. So I have to say that these are people with disposable disposable incomes, but they're not the sharpest tools in the box, you know? Not to take away from anybody. We're all different. I'm not the very wisest of all the people I know, or the smartest of all the people around me, you know? So I'm not coming at anybody. It's just an observation. There are whole people dedicated to showing you how crappy Apple products are on YouTube now. Are you aware of that? For any of my listeners out there that didn't know that, you can go to YouTube and Google it, and you'll find whole groups, there are just lots of people, especially repairmen like myself, that are coming out and saying Apple products are crappily made. We're not talking about when you're running the software and when programs are running. Those tend to be all right, although they have their own thing too because they're kind of locked in. For the most part, people aren't aware that mostly everything you see on an Apple phone, there's an Android version. Now, it might not be exactly the Apple version, but there's an Android version to pretty much anything, any app, anything you see that runs on an Apple phone. There's pretty much an Android version to it. If it isn't right away, you can wait a little bit, and trust me, someone will tap into that market to make that money and create a version of whatever it is you find on an Apple. My brother and I had bought phones at around the same time. He bought an Apple phone. I bought an Android phone. Now, my Android phone gave a little trouble, but it's still more dependable than his Apple phone is, his iPhone is, the one that everybody runs to. My phone is still slightly more dependable. Now, having used this phone, I will say that some of the Apple's features are sleeker. They're cleaner acting. They're sleeker. Like the scrolling, for example. When you're scrolling through numbers, that thing scrolls and feels like it's on a wheel, like a well-greased wheel, the way it scrolls. Sweet. But is that really a deal breaker in the phone? I mean, if you didn't see that, would that kill you wanting to buy the phone? You know, I'm just saying. From my experiences so far, Apple stuff is built very cheaply. It's like they charge an arm and a leg for it. They don't want to repair them, and they're built very cheaply. Apple products are for dumb people with money. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. Apple bullies its customers. Apple bullies its customers. You cannot repair an Apple device. The money it costs you to repair an Apple device, you might as well just go buy a new version or go buy that device again on any level. From simple repair to major repairs. They either don't do it, don't allow a third party to do it, or when they do it, they charge you an arm and a goddamn leg to get it done for a product that's already super expensive. So Apple bullies its customers to keep them in line, and we keep coming back again, like we talked about how people just buy certain products. People like that bullying, I guess. I don't know. I think Apple blatantly robs the customers, locking off their stuff and being compatible with anything else the way that they do. I guess that's the way they carved out their market share, but to the consumers, I don't know. They make it that you either use Apple products or you don't. There's no in between. And once you use Apple products, you have to use all Apple products. Is there any in between third-party companies that connect with anything for Apple products at all? I don't think that there's any third-party anything. You locked in. Once you buy Apple, you have to use an Apple screen, an Apple keyboard, Apple mouse, Apple every goddamn thing. You can't back out of it. Once you sign with them, you in. They lock you in. Then they treat you like a bitch because they'll send a software update that changes all of the connections that you had. Although you're a loyal customer, they'll send a software update that changes all of the shit that you've been using for however long, and now you got to buy the new update for it at the price of an arm and a leg, and the one that you have already now becomes useless to you. You can't sell it. You can't trade it. It's just a piece of junk that you literally have to throw out. Apple bullies their customers. I guess Apple customers like being bullied. But then again, how many Apple customers actually repair anything? Do they just go spend the money and buy new ones? Is that what's happening here? Wow. The public is completely brainwashed by Apple's promotions. I get it. The way Apple promotes stuff, they come off like the most cutting edge right now product. You want to have it right now. When you see people with it, it does look really nice and pretty. Most of them are white or silver. You know, it looks high-techy like you would see in a movie. So I get it. Their marketing is the shit. And they use that marketing and sucker their clients right in. Apple people are the densest people. The most densest people to try to get them to move away from Apple. The people that move away from Apple tend to get frustrated with Apple. Something happens with something they bought. They already had dumped so much money into, now they're just frustrated. They find out that there's a cheaper version of an Android product that does the same thing, or an Android product they'll pay big money for, but it's at least adaptable and repairable. And then they leave Apple alone. Seriously. Most of the people that change from Apple, at least the people that come to get repairs from us, that's what happened. They come with something that we can't repair, that can't be repaired anywhere. They go get a quote from Apple, and Apple charges them either more or exactly the price of what the product cost in the first place. And they say, oh, fuck that. And they Get into the Android. Yo, the public is completely brainwashed by Apple's promotions. Apple's promotions is top notch. They spend that bread to get into your head and see what you like and how to get at you with things. And Apple locks you in. I mean, they lock you in. Pro rap. Apple takes advantage of what the general consumer doesn't know. If more Apple consumers, if Apple people knew, if the people that buy Apple knew that most of the apps that you find on Apple can be found for Android, they might leave at Apple just on that alone. If the people that buy Apple knew that it's easier to get an Android product repaired almost anywhere, on that alone, they would probably lose a lot of customers. People just don't know that. They bought into the Apple hype and they just don't know. Well, this is a quick short show. This wasn't very deep, man. It's just a thought that I had that I wanted to touch base on. You know what I mean? Leave your point of view in the comments down there. Let me know. Let me know what you think. I am not an Apple person. I tried to get into Apple. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I didn't like the limitations. Although the processes that you get to work when they work are the best. But the flimsy build of the products and the fact that you have to only use Apple things, I've never liked anybody that's telling me what they want me to do all the time. And Apple just feels like they're telling me what they want me to do all the time. But if that works for you, do you? You know? I can't change your point of view. I'm just giving you some things to think about for my Apple peoples out there. But anyway, this is Sess Videoz. Thank you for joining in with me on this quick little short colloquy. I think if I'm saying the word correctly. And like and subscribe. The like button allows YouTube to know that this is content that I like. It's watchable. More people should see it. The subscribe button allows you to basically add me to your friends list, you know. And the bell icon, now the bell icon is interesting because when you click on that, that allows you to get a notification every single time I upload a new video, new content. So if you click on that, you'll always know when the latest Sess Videoz show videos comes up. You know what I mean? Thank you for listening in. I love my viewers. Be strong and focused, y'all. Make some money. This is Sess Videoz. And I'm out.